episode midweek special edition. Special edition. Special guest, special edition. Episode midweek. As promised, I have my good friend Austin on here. We grew up in our hometown, and that's none of your fucking business where that's from. But but I feel like our relationship and our friendship has kind of like grown. And I think a lot of it has to do with maturity from high school and college. And then as we both kind of, we have like our mindsets have kind of been in line with each other a good bit. But, you know, it's really cool being able to have one of those friends from like high school that kind of transcends later on to adulthood, post college. That's depressing to say now that I think about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's depressing. It's depressing for me. Getting old. We're getting old, my man.
You're older than I am.
Okay. Get off my podcast. I'm not posting this episode anymore. But yeah, I think our relationship's really grown. Like it's really
It's blossomed.
It's got like that nice spice to it. I think it's just, you know, it gets better over time.
Like fine wine.
Yeah, like fine. Absolutely. I don't even like wine, to be honest with you.
I've never had it.
Really? You never had
champagne,
wine?
maybe. I think that's technically
Champagne?
wine.
Yeah, I think
That's it.
I better not have any wine snobs message me. You know, I know someone who will too. I know one. Actually, I know maybe two that'll say, "Oh,
You can probably cut them out and not be worse for
probably
wear.
I'll just block them.
Yeah.
Just block them. Yeah, I won't even tell them. They're not special enough for this special episode.
Especially.
But yeah. So funny enough, the first pilot episode, which was kind of like a scrambled, like an omelet, where shit was just flying out every corner of the omelet. It was good, maybe ish.
It was good.
It was good. Okay, I appreciate that. Probably you can lie. That's okay. But yeah. But the point what I was getting at is, but a lot of the inspiration for that episode, especially the energy drinks portion, was in regards to Austin, because it's an ongoing debate that we've had about energy drinks. I have always been a pretty staunch supporter of the Red Bull, and unfortunately it's just been a good topic that we kind of jab and poke each other back and forth. Even though one of us is more civilized than the other, you know, it's okay to mingle with the what's the word I'm looking for here? What do you think?
You know, I don't know where you're going for here. I'm sure it's a compliment to me, but
it's not.
I'm glad you brought this up, because it's one thing that I've noticed. Like I've said before, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I've listened to every single episode along the way.
I hope so. I'm paying you for it.
I think after this episode, I believe it'll be at least 75% of all your podcasts you have in some way plugged Red Bull. And it's just, it really, I don't know, it stood out to me, because, I mean, as everyone with a brain knows, Red Bull is an inferior energy drink in comparison to, say, like a
cocaine.
Reign.
Oh, oops.
They're similar. Reign, cocaine.
No,
rhyme.
they're not.
Reign, cocaine. I think that rhymes. I'm no musician or poet. But yeah, I mean, Reign is absolutely the superior of the two drinks. And I'm really glad you brought this up, because you're obviously being paid by Red Bull.
It's none of your fucking business.
I mean, it kind of is.
No, it's not. It's not your fucking business. It's not your fucking business. Okay.
All right.
Leave it out. You know what? We're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
I guess we will.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll have to just disagree to agree that, like Red Bull's a better mixed drink, and like, perfect sizes.
Perfect sizes.
Yeah. If I don't, like right now, I'm drinking. It's 9:52. I have to work tomorrow. And I can't have a full fucking 200 milligram Monster or a 300 milligram Reign. I'm not a psychopath. I just want something, just a little something, like, like a midnight coffee.
I mean, that's one
Like
little something take off the edge.
Go to a cafe.
Oh, God, we're French now?
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't wish I was French.
Sounds like you do.
No.
But
I
you're
really don't. I like French food, though. I like French food.
Well, croissants.
Yeah, croissant. Yeah, but yeah, so I just thought I would bring that up, because it's a funny topic, and that little whole tirade that I threw out.
It's the classic Coke versus Pepsi.
Yeah, I guess so. And Coke always wins. So I hate to break it to you, what ends up happening.
That's funny. Who owns Reign? I think it's Monster. And who owns Monster? It's a Coca-Cola product.
No. I knew that was gonna happen too. I said that, and then like as soon as I said, it, I was like, "Fuck!"
Can't wait for this part to get edited out.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit this out. It's about 34, 45 seconds. You're never gonna hear. It's not gonna make any sense starting now. But yeah, that was a funny little quip that I had inserted in that first pilot, and a lot of that stuff was just obviously it was kind of scatterbrained, but that was just something that just popped in my head and I rolled with it. But that was a lot of inspiration. But it's pretty funny. But let's go ahead and move on. I know that we had talked about Jeep trucks.
There's trucks in general.
Yeah, we did. But I was referring to the Instagram. Did you see that, by the way?
I did. I voted in it.
You did vote.
I absolutely voted in it. And it's funny. Ever since we had our last conversation and that post got put up, and then I received some flack for my chosen position, I've actually become a more staunch defender of the Gladiator since. I've really dug my heels in on this, and it's funny because I've always said I've always thought the vehicle looks strange.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, and the more pushback I get, I've definitely dug my heels in on it.
Yeah, and I think my position really hasn't changed. I feel like I don't mind it. I don't hate it. For sure, I don't hate it. There's some that look odd, I think. I think I would definitely prefer it with a painted top. I think painted top would look good.
Yeah.
But it needs to have some lift to it. It needs to have like a level to it, have a little, size to it, just to make it so it doesn't look so like a ground sniffer, it just needs it needs to look more off-roadish. If they insert that, which is the Rubicon package, and there's like their premier packages that cost way too much money, or you can save a little bit and throw a couple thousand at it instead when you buy it. I think they don't look that bad. I think they look pretty good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree about it being lifted. I've always think the Rubicon looks much better than over the stock sport version of the vehicle.
Absolutely. And
I don't know, this is something I've kind of been thinking about the past couple of days. I've really been trying to pin down what it is that's so weird about it. And I've come to a few different things. One of them, I think we, as just like American culture, have gotten so used to seeing a Jeep. It is just an iconic vehicle. Yeah. It is really the inception of like off-road SUV type vehicles. And I think we've gotten so used to seeing it and we like it now. But if you really step back and look at it, the Jeep Wrangler, and I love the Jeep Wrangler. I'm a Wrangler owner. I've been driving one for years now. Objectively, it is not a pretty vehicle.
No, it's not.
It is an ugly vehicle. When you compare it to every other vehicle on the road, it's an ugly vehicle. But we've gotten so used to it over the years, we've accepted it. And I think that's the same thing going on with the truck right now. We see the truck, it has this Jeep front, and then there's a bed in the back. And I think our knee-jerk reaction is it's weird, so we don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some parts of it, like I was saying, that I don't think I would ever want one with a soft top, though.
No. I feel the same way about regular Jeeps, unless it is like a second or even a third vehicle. Maybe then I'll throw a soft top on it just because it's more convenient.
And I do think, like, I saw one not long ago, and it had, unless it's like a gray or a black or maybe a silver, I just keep thinking red for some reason. I guess it's because of the picture I posted. But when it has like that black hard top that you see Jeeps with, it just doesn't look right. I think that's like kind of offsetting. But I think if it has a painted top, I think they look pretty solid. Like they look pretty rock on. Like if someone, if I didn't need a truck and I didn't have a truck, but I didn't have like a huge requirement for a truck, I guess. If I did not need a full-size truck and it was like between I guess maybe like a Tacoma. See, I would never get a Ford Ranger or a Silverado, a Colorado. To me, those trucks, they just fit a niche at that point. I would rather get a Tacoma in that matter. But then from there, it's like, if you're gonna get a Tacoma, do you want something kind of like a Jeep, but you need a truck? So maybe the Jeep enters the picture, and they do. They are pretty cool. I've seen them. I've seen one lifted. I think the best one I've seen was all black. I can't have black vehicles, but they look so good. But my OCD would just go into overdrive. I'd see scratch, nicks, buffs, fucking water stains.
Cleaning it every day.
It would drive. Yeah, I just can't own a black vehicle. It just looks. They look gorgeous when they come off the line and they're brand new. They are
waxed.
Oh my god, they are great looking vehicles. But you start seeing like those sun stains. Oh god, yeah. But anyways, I saw all black Rubicon Jeep. had a little lift to it, had an off-road tire. It was lifted more than a regular Rubicon or Jeep. But man, it looked good.
See, the
It was
ones
really
where
good.
there's new ones now, new model, still a 2020, but it's the Mojave. I think I'm saying that correctly. They have
MOAB.
those. What?
It's like MOAB, Moab,
Moab.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's not based off the race, I guess, or the whatever.
Yeah. I love those. They're actually a little bit taller lift than the Rubicon.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like their forerunner truck, like pre-runner truck.
Well,
There
it's
you go.
meant to. I think it's meant to compete with the what is it? The Ford Raptor.
Never. Never. It'll never. I would take a Raptor any day of the week over a fucking Ford Jeep.
Well-
Top of line Ford Jeep, I would take a Raptor any day of the week.
Raptors are more expensive though.
Are they?
Yes.
We're talking about top of line of each one. I think.
Yes.
I think a Raptor is like baseline. They all come baseline like with like everything fully loaded. So it's
I'm
like
pretty sure
65, 70,000.
whether you're talking about a entry level,
There's-
I think the Raptors are more expensive. Raptors are a more expensive vehicle.
They should be though. It's a better vehicle.
Well, time will tell. I'm not going to argue that one. The jury is out.
I would
just
take
like
a Raptor any day of the week.
I just like the way those particular Jeep trucks look. I
Yeah,
saw one. It's the same color as the vehicle I have now, which is the tan color Jeep. I'm a
Gobi.
big fan of that color, and I think it looks great
I
on
do
that
too.
truck.
I like the green, like the is
The Gator.
Is it Gator green?
Gator.
Okay, so I always get them mixed up because Toyota has their TRD Pros, and they came out with their own tan and their green color, and I think their green is called Sarge green.
Mm.
But I always get the Gator green mixed up with the Sarge green. But I actually like the Jeep's green. It's kind of like a swamp,
Yeah,
like a swamp green.
it's like a Gator maybe.
yeah, it's crazy, weird. I wonder where they came up with the inspiration for it. But no, but it's not like it's not really overly green. It's just like it's more of like a tannish green than anything. I think that's why I like it, because it's not as like off-putting, but it's not too dark where you're going to see every mark and stain.
Mhm.
But I do like that color though.
Yeah.
I can't believe they didn't distinguish it to the Wrangler, but I'm assuming they're doing that on purpose to maybe inspire some more sales and pique some more interest.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Also, all the Jeep Gladiator haters out there.
What do you
I
have
don't know how to
them?
say this. You're just wrong.
Yes.
You're wrong. And I can concede the fact it is a strange looking vehicle. This vehicle is, by all respects, as far as I can tell, is a good vehicle. This thing was I think it's like the North American Truck of the Year this year. Car and Driver gave it a 10 out of 10. Look me up if you don't believe me.
It
It's
did
a
have
good
some
truck.
issues, like
It's,
you know,
I mean, there's never going to be a perfect vehicle.
it was like missing like a whole bunch of like gear fluid, like the first like a huge batch of
Yeah,
them.
that's the first gen. There's always going to be issues. I think someone told me once, when you're like ranking things, especially if you're ranking it on like a numerical scale, there's never a 5. Someone told me that once. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know who that was either.
There's never a 5, but you can get
Yeah.
close. And I think even though this is still a first gen vehicle, it's still pretty good from everything I've heard. Now, long term, who knows? 5 years down the line, 10 years down
Yeah,
the line,
maybe.
maybe there might be some like reliability issues. It's Jeep, it's Fiat Chrysler. There's going to be
There's
reliability
there's gonna be
issues.
issues. There's
But
gonna
you
be
know
issues.
that going in, you can't complain about that after the
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, we'll
So-
see. We'll see. I am curious to see if they end up. I'm curious what they'll do in 5 years, if it'll still be here. To be honest,
I hope it is.
I'm hopeful. It's definitely interesting. At least it's something new in the market, something that's more refreshing. It's not like a same old or like a. I was gonna say like a same version of a larger truck. Like it's not like a Colorado or Ranger, where they have so many aspects that look just like the F-150. It's just condensed, smaller.
Just a baby version of
Yeah,
a
the
bigger
baby
truck.
version. At least it's something new. I mean, like, yeah, I know it looks like a Jeep Wrangler, but at the same time, it's unique. It's definitely different.
That is what the car marketing is. This is a whole other tangent, which I'm not going to go into, but summarize it.
Don't regret.
the American car market, the world's car market, it is currently, I feel like it's afflicted by this sameness. Everything looks very similar to a person that does not pay attention to vehicles and cars. I mean, you'd be
Yeah.
hard pressed to remove the logos of a Camry and a Corolla. You know.
Central, like
Yeah,
Nissan.
like, the average person that does not pay attention to vehicles would be hard pressed to tell you which is which because they all look so similar. And it's
Yeah.
not even cars, it's SUVs, crossovers, even trucks.
I think that's what a lot of brands now, like if you have like for instance, like a Tahoe, look at Tahoe. Tahoe looks just like the truck. Looks like not necessarily right now. I'm just saying though, in general though, looks just like the truck, which also looks like their diesel truck. and then also looks like their large SUV, like their Yukon, and they all just look almost like you said. It's hard to differentiate between some of them. I know that the Tahoe, some of the Tahoes, they've changed up and they make them a little more unique. Like they look more individual, but I mean, it's not just Chevrolet, it's not just Ford, it's not. They all kind of have that aspect of it.
Yeah, well, it's a very mature market now, and it's been around for 100 or so years at this point, and
Yeah.
people are afraid to take risks. Cars are expensive. It's a
You're stuck with it. It's a loan, and then you got to worry about any kind of repairs or something that springs up on you. So you want to kind of get something reliable, and unless you're just one of those people who can just afford to just ball out and not even worry about the risks and delete stuff, and then void your warranty out after the fucking first year or two before you even put 30,000 miles on it. But it is what it is. That's all good. It's all good. I respect it. I respect the grind. I respect if you can drop the moolah on something.
It's definitely expensive, but I think it is within reach for a larger segment of the population. I shouldn't have to be a multi-millionaire to get a unique looking vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have to be a millionaire to own a Lamborghini either. I agree.
I should just be a millionaire. Send me your money.
No, but don't send him money. Send me money.
Post my
first,
Venmo.
though. Send me money first. It's my podcast. Anyways, though, so let's go ahead and move on to the ranking system that you brought.
The ranking system.
Yeah, that's what brought it up. The ranking system, which I'm not going to go into detail just now, but it's something that I've done. If you know who I am, and I've done a couple beers here and there, and I'll rank it. And my iconic thing is there's no such thing as a perfect beer. I stand by that statement. There's no such thing as a fucking 5 beer. Maybe like the nectar of the gods, or like drinking out of Jesus Christ's cup. There's no such thing as a perfect 5. Period. I don't want to hear anything else. But leading into that topic, what's your favorite beer?
Oh man, you already know it's gonna have to be a UFO White.
I think you said Miller Lite,
Oh.
and I was like,
I mean, who doesn't love a good Miller Lite? It's my favorite beer.
I was about to kick you out of my house.
No, UFO.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, UFO is a good beer. It's a good beer. Good wheat beer. Is there anything else like recently you've tried that you've just been like pretty solid, or just talking like beers and stuff like that? I know you're not like
I'm just not a big. I'm not a big connoisseur. I'm
Yeah.
if people are doing it, I'll do it. Maybe it's the peer
Sure.
pressure. A social drinker, I guess.
social drinker. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think it's one of those things. The only reason I've started like ranking or like keeping up with beers is because I just forget the ones I've tried that I really enjoyed, and then in order for me to refer back to it, that's my way of going back to it. But additionally, I had like this beer of the month thing, and so I would get one, I would try it, and that's why I keep track of shit that I'll come back to. But that's cool. Yeah, UFO is a good beer. Harpoon Brewery makes some really good beers. I like a lot of their stuff. But yeah,
What I hate about it, it's hard to find on draft. Only a few places. have it.
draft is
depressing.
the way to go. It's crazy how different a good draft beer can be from the exact same beer bottled.
Mm-hmm.
There's one beer that I loved on draft. Fucking what's it called? Whatever, doesn't matter. It's a good beer on draft, but unfortunately, I've gotten it canned recently a couple times, and it just doesn't taste the same. I actually don't like it. I can't drink it from a can, and I'm just spoiled from it. It's a shame.
I will say, and I don't care who knows this, the Trulies, the lemonade
No.
Trulies. I'm going to go there.
Don't bring Trulies onto my podcast.
Lemonade Trulies.
I don't want to
The
hear
different
about fucking
flavors.
Trulies.
They're good. They're good.
I-
Listen,
We're moving topics.
All right, fine.
Topic's over. It's over. Talking about damn Trulies.
Lemonade Trulies are good.
They're not. They really aren't. But anyways, let's talk about games.
Ooh.
I think this is something that we both enjoy games. But one question that I got last episode was the game market.
Ooh.
And like specifically developers like Rockstar, Bethesda, making games that have been out for quite some time, and then getting them and then maybe upgrading them like 10%, and then reselling them for almost 80% of the exact same price or price market that it's been. And most of the time, these games you already own. And a lot of us, maybe you've owned a couple versions of the same game for different platforms.
I have.
So, like,
Sucker.
what's your take on that? Because I mean, there's some games that have been pushed back. The virus has kind of messed stuff up that's supposed to be released. But what are you playing, and what do you? Well, we'll start off with what do you think about that?
I think Bethesda gets a lot of flack for it, and they should. I think the big offender was Skyrim.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like a meme at this point. Oh,
Yeah, it's a joke.
my Panasonic microwave is going to be able to run Skyrim. I wonder when they're going to release that. And they should get flack for that. Now, I will say when they released it for current gen, which is PS4, Xbox One, I'm glad they did that.
I did too.
I thought it looked good. I was not upset that they released that.
The price was a little too high,
Rockstar,
though.
however, Rockstar is the bigger offender here because Bethesda at least has continued to put out games. They've made other games since Skyrim.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Rockstar's
Rockstar-
not done anything.
I mean, what
When
have
did
they
that game come
They've
out?
done. It was it was early. I don't know, maybe not early. I feel like it was mid to late gen.
I know that it was
360 and PS3.
I'm almost positive it was like it had to be before I graduated college.
Was it like 2012 maybe?
It was like 2013.
It was somewhere around
Yeah.
there. They've not made a game since. Like the studio, as far as I know, has not made a game.
Red Dead.
Red Dead. Okay, excuse me. Red Dead has come out. That's a whole other thing. But there's not been any more Grand Theft Autos. Where if you look at the history, I think every generation since GTA has come out, they've done at least one or two releases for each console.
Yeah, you're
They've
right.
not
They
made
didn't
a
release one.
single
Yeah, they
release for this gen. And it looks like if the PS5 reveal is any indication, they opened their game trailers with Grand Theft Auto 5.
I didn't even watch it.
They opened with that. So I think it's just a sign of the times. If people are buying it, they're going to keep doing it. We can get all up in arms about the developers.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault for buying buying these games over and over again, and then on top of that, buying like the
the shark cards.
in-game currencies that continue to profit. They continue to profit off.
Microtransactions are a scourge in the industry right now. I understand why they're doing it. They want to make money. I can't fault them for that. And if people are going to pay for it, I mean, why not? I think it's a scourge. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm all for good quality DLC that adds to a game. But if you're releasing a game that's incomplete and you're using DLC to flesh it out and charging for it, that's bad practice in my opinion. And
Yeah,
this
and
microtransactions in general, I don't even care if it's cosmetic. I don't like the practice because it's so easy to abuse.
So yeah, I do agree with that. I agree with that to an extent. If it's a free to play game,
that's
I
different.
give more leniency to it because as long as it's not a pay to win, I can kind of deal with it. But at the same time, is what they do now is all the cool skins, and this is even for free games, for games that you have actually spent. Which most games, for those that don't know, your generic game normally costs $60 flat if it's a new game, or if it's
a base
popular
edition is
for a
$60.
base edition game for the most part. If it's for a vanilla, is what they call it, base game. So from there, like I'm going to use Call of Duty for example. Okay, there's like no good looking skins in that game. I guess you have like the camo and stuff like that, but I have actual skins in the game, like playable characters, stuff like that. To look cool is what I'm getting at. If you go back in time, those skins are unlockable, like in Halo, and you unlock that stuff by basically by skill or like performance or achieving something. Where now there's no such thing. You don't get that anymore. It's you have to pay for it, or even worse, you have to gamble to receive it.
Oh man!
So you can't even 100%. If I really want something, I won't even use my name. We'll use Little Timmy. Like Little Timmy's playing Fortnite right now. Fortnite's not a good example because you can't buy the skins that you can buy the exact skins, but there are games that Fortnite's free too. To be
Apex
fair.
is one of them. I think
Yep.
that is it.
Apex. Fortnite is free, so can't really mix that in with that crowd. But at the same time, you have some games. We'll continue with Call of Duty, or man, I feel like Destiny. Destiny is a perfect example. Perfect example of a game that they have really cool like gear and stuff to use, but it's all based on loot boxes. And the only way to get, and we're not talking about RNG here. We're talking about you have to pay to get a loot box with your cash.
It's gambling.
It's gambling, and to get like the one cool skin in the game, while everything else they've created for you to get by your own means without having to pay looks like trash. It's low effort trash, and they put the cool stuff all behind a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
And then behind that, even further, is the fact you have to gamble. So you may have get 20% chance of getting one thing. It's bullshit. It's just laziness.
I do think there is maybe a small light at the end of the tunnel, and who knows, time will tell if anything changes. I read an article recently, the House of Lords in the UK ruled recently that loot boxes are considered gambling now, and they have to be regulated as such. So hopefully I'll I feel like we're going to have to lean on our European counterparts for this one because God knows we're not going to do anything about it. But maybe if you have a big segment of the market that basically says this is an illegal practice, or we put so many warning labels on this that, you know, parents here in the United States aren't going to let their kids buy it, maybe we'll see industry change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of guilty of it too. If I really, really want something, and I have money, I'm an adult now. If I want to buy, if I want it, I'm gonna use my money to get it. But at the same time, you know, it's at the same time you got to stop funneling your money into those systems so they'll stop profiting off of it, and they'll stop using these practices. But it's I feel like at least for the short, you know, near future, it's here to stay. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, there's other stuff like in regards to like the European market. Like a good example is the Microsoft Elite controller, which is notorious for always breaking.
That's why I never got one.
But they're fantastic though. I love them. But additionally, I've gone through like 6 of them. Yeah. I've always get a warranty. I always get the extended warranty. So when that motherfucker breaks, I know it will, I'll just take it back and get a direct replacement for it, and I start the process all over again. Sometimes they've been fantastic, and I think the longest one I had was like 2.5 years for like a good. If you could use a controller a lot and use it all the time, that's not too bad. Yeah. But like if it's breaking after like a couple months, that's an issue. Or if it's something like that wears down or like falls off, and not by wear, just like, you know, faulty material,
poor manufacturing.
But Europe, I believe it was Europe, they actually introduced something about that, because the warranty on those is really like 90 days. And really a lot of stuff is not going to fall off in 90 days. It'll come off like in like 3 or 4 months. A controller shouldn't break down for 4 to 5 months or so. But they made it to where it actually had to be extended for like for 2 years of use. And Microsoft knows that these things are going to fall apart because they're mass produced, but they have a high upcharge on these things. So
like $150.
Yeah, it's like 100.
Maybe
I think like base. I think MSRP is like 150, but really they go for like 130. But still, that's a lot of dough.
It is. It's twice the amount of a regular controller.
I'm about to say you can buy two regular controllers and you already have one. But anyway, so like what's a good game that you're looking forward to, you know, in the stale universe? I think we have probably the same game.
I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk. Yeah. I think pretty much everyone that I've talked to,
I think everybody
is very excited for this game. CD Projekt Red, the developer, I entered in with them as a developer on Witcher 3, which I think a lot of people did.
Which is a good game, and they're like one of the few developers who
give you
created
a complete
content.
Product.
Yeah, and even when you do have to pay for the content for like a DLC, like downloadable content for those, it's there. Like you're paying for another game. Like you're not just paying for 2 missions or something like that. You know, if you pay $30, you're getting more than $30 of content, at least in today's world.
So basically, like I can pay $20 to CD Projekt Red, and they basically give me another game attached to the game that I already own.
Right.
Whereas I can go to a different developer and give them $20 in DLC, and I might get some skins. Or if it's like, I think Ubisoft does it in their Assassin's Creed games. You buy a DLC, they add like a couple side missions and some skins, and that's, you know, it's might be 30 minutes of content. Whereas CD Projekt Red will give you 4 hours of content.
Yeah, maybe more than that, really, if you like do every little thing, or like you find every like little side quest, or like or equipment or gear like that, and then that can add up. So yeah, I totally agree with that. It's a shame, but I think everyone's eyes right now are on Cyberpunk, and you know, my worst fear is that people are expecting too much.
Yeah, I think,
and they hype it up to the point to where it cannot meet expectations.
It's a Watch Dogs scenario all over again.
Gosh, man. No Man's Sky, I feel like, was also one of those.
They did that to themselves.
Yeah, fuck them.
And fuck Sony too. Sony, it was not an innocent party. Sony was not an innocent party in that either. They pushed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's something I'm looking forward to. As far as something that I'm playing now or have been playing recently, I've been pushing this on everybody, is the game Control. I feel like
you did bring that up.
I've been preaching it to people. This is coming from someone, I know we spend a lot of time on games now. I actually don't play a lot of games anymore. This has been the first one in really 2 years or so that I've actually finished. It's an excellent game. I recommend it.
I gotta try it out. I'm just on multiplayer kick, and I feel like I've been on that kick for quite some time. But there's occasionally there'll be a good single player game that'll just entrap me, and then I'll key on. But let's go ahead and move on. another good topic. Excuse me, it's gonna be spontaneous. What is your least favorite movie you've watched this year?
Oh man, least favorite movie. I could have told you favorite movie. Let's see, least favorite
Not,
movie.
I might give you a favorite movie. Least favorite.
Oh man.
Don't know, do you?
I'm,
I
I'm,
didn't see that coming, did you? Huh?
I'm really trying to think.
Curveball.
I've just not really seen that many
Wild
movies
card,
this year.
motherfucker.
I've just not seen that many movies.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, how about past 2 years? 2020 is already kind of a shit show. So let's go back to 2019, or what's the movie that you had high expectations for, and they just fell totally flat.
Man, I'm choking up here.
It's all right. All right, we'll shift gears. What was your favorite movie?
Favorite movie this year that I've seen?
It can be last year or this year.
Now this is not a new movie.
Okay, that's fine.
It's just a movie I've seen recently.
That works.
It's actually kind of an older movie. I think it came out in the late 90s, actually.
I
I
like
watched
that.
it a week or so ago. It's Devil's Advocate. It's on Netflix right now.
You ever seen Devil's Advocate?
Never seen Devil's Advocate. I watched it for the
Really?
first time. It's great.
It's
I
got
loved Keanu Reeves. It's got,
Yeah.
what was it? De Niro? No, not De Niro. Pacino.
Pacino.
Yeah.
Al Pacino.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just watched it for the first time this past week.
Really?
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. If you would have asked me, like, yeah, guess my new favorite movie I've watched this year, that would have been the last thing on my mind.
Yeah,
never
I mean,
thought
it's.
that
I think it came out in like '98 or something.
Yeah,
It was
it's an older
pre-Matrix. Keanu Reeves. It was a great movie. I've just never seen it.
I like Keanu Reeves.
I love Keanu Reeves. He's fantastic.
I like him too. Like, it's not like not just the John Wick movie. I've always liked John. Oh, Jesus Christ! I've always kind of liked Keanu Reeves. Like the
Mhm.
Matrix movies, I really enjoyed him in. John Wick. He had some other smaller films that he was in that I really enjoyed. And just as I say that, like, it's not just those movies. I can't think of anything.
Those are just the big ones.
This is just the big ones.
Point Break. Was he
Point Break. Oh yeah. I mean, like,
Bill and Ted's.
even though it's not necessarily like a good movie, it's an iconic movie.
Yeah.
Gary Busey. How can you forget about fucking Gary Busey?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so good movies. I'm trying to think if there's anything recently. Anything that kind of moved me. I feel like there was. I'll tell you one movie that I really enjoyed. It was actually better than I thought it was, and like the more I thought about it, the more I enjoyed it. It was Midsummer.
I've been wanting to see it.
I haven't seen Midsummer.
I have not. I've watched Hereditary. I loved Hereditary.
Yeah.
And it's coming from someone that does not like horror movies.
I love
By
it.
and large, do not like horror movies. I loved Hereditary, and I've been wanting to see Midsummer.
It's a good movie.
I just have not gotten around to it yet.
I definitely think you'll like it. The thing that other people I've talked to about it, you can't go in with the expectations of it being a similar style. Well, not style, but a similar movie to Hereditary. But the style and the direction with the director and how he went about it, I thought it was brilliant. I thought he did a really good job. So yeah, definitely watch it. I probably can only watch it one time. So make sure when
That's
you watch
what I've heard. I've
watch it
heard
one
there
good
was
time.
there was a thing going around a while back. It was like, what movie did you love but will never watch again?
Yeah,
And I saw a lot of people say Midsummer.
I can watch
and-
Hereditary again, but I cannot watch Midsummer.
I feel like you almost have to watch Hereditary again to
Yeah.
really enjoy the movie.
Oh, God,
There's so much like little hidden things in it.
yeah, like you rewatch it and then like, bam, you didn't
I
even.
love that movie. I could literally spend 30 minutes talking about Hereditary.
Yeah,
alone.
that's a good movie. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have like a movie episode and go over like our favorite. Maybe we'll do like horror
We
movies.
should have done our vocal exercises
Yeah.
before we started.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry. If it booms the mic, I'm sorry. I apologize. We're starting to get close to that time frame, but we'll do a little quick power session. Let's talk about styling, shoes, stuff like this. It's where we live in the South. It's too fucking hot to wear jackets, but I wish it was cooler.
Oh,
I love fucking jackets.
I love jackets. I love the winter. Half the reason is I like to wear jackets.
Oh yeah. Let's see, good fashion. Any kind of like brands recently you've been wearing, like you've been checking out?
I think there was one this brand I've been interested in recently is Salty Crew. I think it's based out west
Yeah.
somewhere.
I've heard
I've
it
actually
before.
never seen any of their clothing around here. I was actually out in LA for several months back, and we were just kind of going through some stores, and I saw these cool shirts, and I'd never heard of the brand. I picked it up, and just I think it's mostly like surf apparel and stuff like that. But they make
Yeah.
T-shirts and shorts and all that sort of stuff. I remember I was actually in town out one night, and a guy just walks up to me randomly. Never met the guy in my life, and he was like, "Oh, I really like your shirt." We're talking about that. We talked about that for a little bit. I guess he was from out there somewhere. So I guess it kind of has like a little bit of a niche following.
Yeah.
It's really nothing fancy, nothing incredible. I just think it's cool.
I like that too. I've come to the point where if I can find like a small name brand, not even a name brand, but like a small outfit, and they'll make like a small run of shirts, and if they have just a really cool design, I normally will snag one just to get it because I hate seeing something that I really like and then coming back and then realizing I can't ever get it again. But I think something important is listen, dudes. I love some of the designs you put on shirts. Please, if it's gonna be a big logo, put it on the back.
Put it on the back.
Put it on the back, please.
Small one near the pocket.
Yep.
Left side maybe looks good.
Yep. Left side.
Don't put a big one on the front.
Yep. I can't. Oh man, it kills me. Like there's been so many shirts I see, and I'm like, if the design was on the back, I would have bought like 2 of these. I saw one recently. And I like, damn it, that's a badass shirt. And then I was like, I realized it in the front, and I was like, I don't know. But we'll keep moving on. But we'll do another power question real quick. Favorite color?
Ooh, favorite color. You know, I'll probably have to go with a forest green. You know,
Forest green.
and I feel
that
like
color.
I'm gonna say this. I kind of already know what this episode is gonna be titled. I've been told ahead of time. I've seen the post.
See people, yeah.
I'm not gonna weigh in how I feel about that, but yeah, forest green. I'm a redheaded guy. I'm a tall redheaded guy. I think forest green goes well. It goes well with my complexion.
Forest trunk, amber top, huh?
Yeah, maybe I just like it because it looks good on me.
Yeah, I like that color too. I think it's more of a complexion
Yeah.
because like you, I'm pretty fair skinned, but I like that nice forest green too. But I think a nice good teal
I love a good teal.
color, like bluish greenish color, is always solid.
I love it. My only issue with it, I feel like sometimes it's hard to. You're talking about men's fashion. It's hard to coordinate a little bit.
Yeah, it is hard.
If you're going to wear that
Yeah.
color, you have to commit to that color. Everything on you is going to have to conform to that, and I have no problem with
That's
that.
true. That's true.
I like it more on like stuff, like products or.
Yeah, I think you're right because now that I'm thinking about it, I think I have 0 teal shirts.
Yeah, I
or
think I have
anything.
one.
I don't have
one.
anything like that. Like not even like dress shirts. I don't have anything like that. But let's do a couple. Anything recently you've been listening to music wise that you've really just hit it off with? I think right now my biggest issue with music is just one that's just a lack of product being put out that's quality.
Mhm.
My thing, and I have another good friend, and we had this same discussion that the issue with most stuff is people make these huge albums, and there'll be about 3 just awesome songs,
Everything else is trash.
but everything else is trash. They'll have it'll be 14 damn song track list, but like 2 or 3 are great songs, and everything else, I hate to do it, but I just skip it.
Yeah.
Even if I listen to it once or twice, but regardless, what's something recently you've listened to that you've really enjoyed?
Recently I've actually been bouncing all around with music. I think it's because I've been kind of burned out on the stuff I've historically listened to, and so I've been moving around trying to find the new best thing. Honestly,
Yeah,
a lot of my
same
stuff
thing.
has been like just like Spotify playlists, these curated ones that just have random genres and stuff. I've actually bounced around a good bit. I've always been like a big fan of like Americana type music. It's not really
folk.
yeah,
Almost?
folk. It's kind of like it's like what country's supposed to be, in my opinion.
It's funny that you say that because I've been listening to like what you're describing, like a real country, not like these songs have more soul and heart, and they are more country style artists.
It's authentic.
It's authentic. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. It's very authentic, but you will never hear these on the radio.
And that's why I don't like to say country. I'll say like Americana. Folk even I feel like has been almost co-opted in a lot of
Yeah, it
ways.
has.
It's become more commercialized, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like a lot of
What's what's that one band that kind of popped it off?
it was Mumford and Sons. I feel
Yep,
like it's one
that's
of them. And I love
I like
Mumford
Mumford and Sons too.
I
They
still
definitely-
like them.
They
But
kind of ruined it.
it is funny. There was another friend of mine years back. I've always listened to this type of music, and I remember he at one point was saying something along the lines of he listened to Mumford and Sons, and at the time he'd never really heard stuff like that. He was, oh, this sounds like so like folksy, blah blah blah. And then years later, got more into the scene, and then revisiting Mumford and Sons years later, you realize how mainstream. I mean, like relatively mainstream they sound. It's a very smooth, almost a poppy folk, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with
It's
that.
definitely pop.
I love it. There's definitely a place for it, but compared to other stuff, it is pretty mainstream. And like I said, there's
agree.
no issue. I'm kind of of the mind. I like 2 different types. If you're gonna make it real broad, I like songs that tell stories. I love storytelling songs. And then if it's not gonna have vocals, one thing that I've been listening to on and off over the years, and it's very mood centric. I've just kind of been listening to it recently. Is this like vaporwave type music? Like almost imagine like a like
Vaporwave.
imagine like a Tron soundtrack almost.
A synthwave.
Synth. There's lots of different kinds. There's vaporwave.
Yeah, I know. There's like a million different.
There's all different kinds. That genre in
also-
general.
That's kind of weird almost. Like, so I've also been listening to like
It's great nighttime driving music.
nighttime driving. There's some that are like great for like doing work. Like if it's not like damn blowing your ears with bass or anything like that. It's just like a good beat, and it's like something that's not as distracting to some songs. It's just like something. It's just like good background music for like autopilot modes. I guess the way I think about it. Like if I'm working on something, I'll play something like that, and I just go straight into autopilot mode, and then I can enjoy it, and then I'll just look at the clock, and 2 hours has passed. I have no idea.
Wave Shaper's a good one. They have a great song, 66 megahertz, fantastic song.
Nice.
It was actually one of the songs that got me into the genre. Was that song? And there's actually been another one
They
recently.
sound very mainstream.
You know, it might be.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. There was another one, Pilot, P-Y-L-O-T.
Yep, I've heard of them.
Like I said, it's definitely very niche. There's a time and a place for it. It's not something I listen to all the time. Just recently, like I said, like nighttime driving. I don't know why. I love nighttime driving with this music in the background. No vocals normally, just music.
It's just a beat. It's a good beat. I think like you said about the Americana. I think that's a good way of describing it because like you said, it has a lot of soul to it. It's authentic. I've been really listening to some recently. Like a good friend of mine introduced Sturgill to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him, and I feel like I'd heard him before, but then like going through the tracks, I'd never heard it, but it just sounds so iconic. And then I've been going back to like some Johnny Cash again all of a sudden because a lot of these guys kind of have like that same feel and mood and passion. And I go back to that as well. And then like you said about like having a story to tell in the song, you know, like I know this is kind of mainstream now, but like Folsom Prison is a good one. Cocaine Blues that he's saying is a great. It has so much beat to it. It's authentic. It's you could listen to it and you're like that sounds almost real.
Yeah.
Like it almost seems like something that's happened. That's it just makes you tap your foot. So I agree with you on that. I wish that country would get itself right, but unfortunately it's dominated by young teenagers and college students that just
well it's become
put it on
bro
the spotlight.
music, and like I said, there's as much as I like to rail against radio country,
there's some good ones there still.
listen, I can sit here and go along with the lyrics of most of these songs. It's not that I don't listen to it.
Yeah,
There's a time and the place. If you're in like a party or like some kind of get together, you got a bunch of people with background music. It's the perfect type of music for that. You don't always want to sit there and listen to some deep, storytelling, slow beat song.
Yeah.
There's a time and the place for all this stuff.
Right. But I think my issue with it is it overshadows real country.
It does. And people that are outside the genre label the whole based off a few mainstream popular songs.
A couple
that are ultimately very shallow songs.
Yeah. I think if I was to, and I'm gonna try and wrap it up here, but I think one of my favorite mainstream guys, and it kind of scares me because whenever they became mainstream, they normally will have one or two just stellar albums back to back, give or take, and then from there, unfortunately, it normally gets dominated by Nashville, and then it just becomes mediocrity, and the song, the production, and the heart of it just falls to the floor. The value drops in my ears, or I guess my eyes, and you can just tell there's just not as much behind it.
It's just the conformity.
Yeah, and
it's the safe bet. Same thing with vehicles, like kind of come in full circle.
That's true.
The safe bet. They're appealing to the largest market, and there is a place for that.
God,
but
I hope Midlands doesn't do it.
No, they always do. I don't know.
I know.
Some of these people reject it outright.
But I feel like they're flying close to the sun right now. Like that first album and some of their other tracks they've had, like just so good. Like it's just good songs and stuff like that. But like that, I don't know. Maybe someone can change my mind. It just seemed that the most recent album. I guess maybe I had my expectations were too high, but just didn't hit it all the way for me.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah. They all have that. So, we've been over
covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did. Energy drinks, trucks,
games, movies,
games,
music,
guns, music. We didn't even talk about guns. We're not even gonna talk about guns. We went to the range today. We're not even talk about guns. We're not even talking about guns. But yeah, man, that was good. I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, I'd love to be here.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you came. But yeah, man, that was awesome. I really do appreciate it, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. And stay tuned. We'll have more guests, and I'm sure Austin will make an appearance again, and we'll continue our battle of the energy drinks. I don't think he's ready to see the truth. I'm sure if I put a poll out, you know what? Maybe I'll do that.
I think we've pretty much established what the majority says. I don't give a damn.
Good stuff, man. Good looks. Thanks again for coming on. I appreciate you giving me your time and going over this stuff. And like I said, we'll get you again, and then hopefully we'll be able to rebase and see what maybe like the new consoles and then Cyberpunk. And you know, it's crazy. We talked about so much, but really just we were scratching the surface on a lot of stuff. But
yeah.
But definitely, man, thanks again, and we'll wrap it up here.
Thank you for listening, and do not forget to check out our Instagram, Circa, CIRCAKRAFT at Instagram, and I will tag my good friend Austin in the post. You can give him a follow and check him out. And thanks again for listening. Have a nice one.